Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. So this is the part 6 video of Angular JWT access token, and this is also last video of this series. So to protect the routes, like login page cannot be accessed once user is logged in, and vice versa when user is not logged in cannot access the secured pages like favorite movies. Okay. So to do that, we are going to implement auth guards. Okay. Okay. So those are like can activate routing guards, which protect the routes based on the user permissions. Okay. So let's create a auth guard in shared folder. Okay. Ng generate class shared slash auth folder. Now name of our guard auth guard. Okay. I don't want any test files. So our God file is created. Let's go over there. Okay, it should be a injectable service. Decorate with @injectable, and it should implement can active. Okay, which is a routing guard implementation, and implement the method. Okay, it should implement can active route. Okay, the first thing, this guard auth guard should be registered on every route. Okay, so with this auth guard, there are two benefits for us. One is restricting the routes from the user. Another thing is whenever user refreshes the page, right? So at that time, the user data like user profile, all the information will be lost. But user authentication token and everything available in the browser storage. So what we will do means we are going to fetch them. Okay. If they are empty, we are going to check local browser storage, and then we are populate again. If the storage contain access token, we again populate our user profile so that the problem like losing of authenticated user data once the page is refreshed is fixed. Okay. So here first let's check for user authenticated information. To do that, let's inject our auth service, private auth service. Okay, now here I can try to fetch for user profile data. Okay, this dot auth service dot user profile, which is a behavior subject. To get the data, we can use method like get value. Okay, so this user profile either will return null value or user profile data. Okay, if user profile is empty, okay, no data. Maybe that is due to either two reasons. User is not logged in really, or user logged in but page is reloaded. At that time, user profile gets emptied. So in that case, what we have to do means fetch the data from local storage, okay, or tokens data, where tokens, since this tokens string, since it is a string, right? Token string, and where and check whether the data is coming from browser local storage. Okay, if that is coming, then we are convert it as our token model. So to do that, local storage dot sorry, not local storage, JSON dot parse token string as token model. Okay, and now let's populate again our user profile. Okay, so we have to decrypt our token data. For that, let's inject JWT helper service, private JWT helper, JWT helper service. Okay, so where user info JWT helper dot decode token and pass our access token, token dot access token. Okay, and this will be the user profile type. Now let pass our data to this dot auth service dot user profile dot next. Okay, so user info. Okay, so what will happen? All this logic whenever user is authenticated and refresh page, we again uh, populating the data into our user profile object so that I can see user information like email, everything like menu items, all are dependent on user profile, right? They also get populated and they work. If the user reloaded the page also, authenticated state will be maintained. Okay. Till now we have solved that problem. Now we have to look into restricting the user from accessing certain pages. Okay. So to do that, for every route we have to define like user profile rules. Okay. So go to app routing module. Here I don't want any uh, rule for the home page, home component. Okay. So, but I want for auth routing module, go to auth routing module. Here I can specify. See, this implementation purely your business. If you don't want to do like this hard-coded way, then from your API you need to get the roles. Okay, like access, read, write, like that roles you need to get. For that you need to invoke another kind of API. Okay. So based on that result you have to do. For this demo, I simply statically maintaining the user role directly here. Okay. So, so here routes you can assign additional data. Okay. That is like using the data property. So to this data property, you can give any kind of property. It will take object, right? You can define any kind of property. So this property value you can read in the route guard. So I will name property like required auth. Okay, this is my custom property. So for this, no need to have the authentication, right? Because it is a login component. So I specify like false. So copy this again and go to movie routing module. Here favorite movie should be accessed by only authenticated users, right? So here paste the data property and here change required auth to true. Okay. Home page we no need because user is authenticated, non-authenticated should have the ability to access the home page. So I didn't specify any data property over there. Okay. So now I can use this route data value in the auth guard. So go to auth guard. Okay. Now we can write conditions like if profile. Okay. Dot sub. Okay. I will check for null checking because there might be case when user is not authenticated, then sub will be empty. So here, what I am checking, sub greater than 0 means user is authenticated because sub contains user login ID. Okay, if it is greater than 0. Okay, and next what I can check means if route dot, so this route value coming from this input method input property activated route snapshot. Okay, route dot data. Okay, so this going to give the control over the data property we added at our routings, right? It will get control over this. So I can fetch for this property name. So where is my auth guard? So here I am checking because some components don't have required auth, right? So first check whether the properties exist or not. Okay, next check for the value of the property. Okay, so copy this entire thing and check. Here I will check like false. So what does that mean? User is authenticated, but user trying to access the profile that should not be accessed after login, like login page, right? So at that time, what I will do, I simply navigate user back to home page. For that, we need a router service, private router service. Okay. So this dot router dot navigate home page. Okay. And return false. So this authguard expect some boolean type. So if it is returning false, it stops further execution of the request. Okay. For suppose if user is authenticated and trying to access the login page again, this logic executed and it's since it is returning false, it won't further allowed him to access the login page. Okay. Same way else means if user is not authenticated, copy this entire if, just we need to contradict and true. Okay, that means user is not authenticated but trying to access a route that requires authentication. At that time also we just navigate and return false. Okay, and here we need to specify true. That means everything is good. User is not accessing any invalid route. So simply return true here. Okay. So that is our route auth guard. So here auth guard fixing two of our problems. One is on page loading, maintaining the user state back. That is one solution it is doing. Okay, this logic. And next solution, it is restricting the user based on their access for accessing the pages. Okay. And now we have to register this auth guard at our every route. Okay, for that go to first app module, sorry, app routing module. Here I can add, can activate and array because it can accept 10 number of auth guards. Okay, routing guards, auth guard. Okay, and here for home component it is a guest but still we are registering. Why we are registering? Here it is not about accessing the page. Here we want to solve the problem when page refreshed. If the user on home page and refreshed, then you should get the authenticated information, right? For that reason, I am registering auth guard. Okay, okay, same way. Now register in auth routing module. Auth auth guard. Okay. Same way, movie routing module can active. Okay, auth guard. Okay. And finally, register. This is a service, right? Finally, register in our app module. Okay, app module, and inside of the providers, I can specify auth guard. Okay. And before testing, here is small correction. So user profile variable as in the user info again. Okay. I forgot to do that. Okay. Now here is small correction. We are checking 2 times. So it won't cause any issue. Just remove this first condition because if this value directly returning true or false, right? At that case, our checking will get uh, conflict. So just remove that condition. Okay. So now our code is good. Let's try to check in our Angular application. So here you can see test@test.com is available. Okay. For suppose if now I try to access the login page, I should I should navigate back to home page. See, I am trying to access the login page. See, redirect back to home page. So that is because once the user is logged in, he cannot access the login page again. Same way, what I will do, let's remove token from the storage. Okay, and from the browser storage. Now refresh the page. Now user is not authenticated. Now if I try to access the favorite movies page, which is can be accessed only by the authenticated users. So now currently I am not an authenticated user, right? So if I try to access now also I will get redirect back to landing page. Let's test it. See, I'm redirect back to landing page. So that's how using guards we can protect our pages. So that is the end of Angular JWT authentication. Okay, in the version 14. I hope this video has delivered some useful information to you all. If you like my video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Soon we are going to meet with new videos. Until then, signing off.